Today's lesson is on comparing fractions using equivalent fractions. Students will compare fractions with different numerators and denominators. Before beginning today, I would recommend going onto your Power Learning dashboard for this lesson and printing off the model notes, which are fraction tiles. These fraction tiles might become helpful throughout today's lesson. So here's an example of fraction tiles. So can you fill in the remaining boxes and demonstrate how these are equal? So we know 1 whole is equal to 2 halves. That is equal to 3/3. The next one would be, if we were filling this in, it would be 1/4 all the way across here. And then the next row would be 1/5. These fraction tiles will help you compare fractions. So let's here use these fraction tiles to help with these questions. So we know we did 1/4 here and we had 1/5 in here. So name a fraction in the chart that is less than 1/3. So smaller than 1/3, your answer could be 1/4 or 1/5. What is a fraction that is greater than 2/3? So here's 2/3. What is greater than 2/3? Well, you could have 3/4 would be greater, or 4/5 would be greater. And then what is a fraction between 1/2? So between 1/2 and 2/3. What falls in between 1/2 and 2/3? Well, the answer to that would be 1/3. Or sorry, 3/5. Sorry, ignore me. The answer to that is 3/5. So we have 1/2. Let me highlight this to show you. 1/2 would be here, and then 2/3 would be here. So what falls in between there? What falls in between this range? Well, 3/5 would be here, and it falls right in the edge of those two. Now if we look at D, between 3/5 and 4/5, the answer to that one would be, let me grab a pen, 2/3 or 3/4. Between 1/4 and 1/2, you would have 1/3 or 2/5. So having your fraction tiles in front of you would be very helpful. F, equivalent to 1/2, remembering that equivalent means equal to. Well, the same as 1/2 is the same as also saying 2/4. Greater than 3/5, there's a few options. You could have 2/3, you could have 3/4, or you could have 4/5. And then the last one here that we're going to look at today is equivalent to 1 whole. So equivalent to 1 whole, so if I highlighted 1 whole here, well, you could have several answers. You could have 2 halves, or 2/2, 3/3, 4/4, or 5/5 would all be equal to 1 whole. Here's an exercise for you to complete on your whiteboard. You can use your fraction tiles to help you. So you're going to determine which fraction is greater. So you're going to, on your whiteboards, replace the or sign with either greater than, less than, or an equal sign between the two fractions using your fraction tiles to help. When you're done, you're going to resume your screencast. So it's really important to notice that when the fractions have the same denominator, the fraction with the greater numerator is more. That's because when the parts are the same size, more pieces are a greater fraction of the whole. Here is another set of exercises to complete on your whiteboard. This time you don't have the fraction tiles on your screen, but you do have them in front of you if you printed your model notes out, and you're welcome to use them. So on your whiteboard, you're going to write the two fractions, and you're going to replace the or sign with either greater than, less than, or equals to. And there is also a bonus down below. When you're done completing these 4, you're going to resume your screencast. So we can also compare fractions without a picture or without fraction tiles. So we have 2/3 or we have 5/6. So we're going to know that the fraction 5/6 would have more pieces shaded in. There's 5 pieces rather than 2 pieces, but they're smaller pieces that's cut into sixths rather than thirds. So these fractions are actually quite hard to compare. So is there a way to turn this problem into one we already know how to do? Well, if both fractions had the same denominator, you would know what to do. So can we change one of the fractions to make it have the same denominator as the other fraction? In other words, is there a fraction with a denominator 6 that is equal to 2/3? Well, let's look at it this way. I want you to think of 3 times what can give me 6? Well, if I did 3 times 2, I'm going to get 6. The rule is that we have a multiplicative relationship between numerators and denominators. What this means is that you have to multiply both parts of the fraction by the same number to result in an equivalent fraction. So in other words, what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So if you have to multiply by 3 by 2 to get to 6, that means you have to multiply the top by 2 as well. So 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So this is telling us that 2/3 is the same as 4/6. Now what I'm comparing, so this is equal to 4/6. So when I'm comparing them, I can say is 4/6 greater than 5/6? They have common denominators now, so it's easy to look at. We can know that 4/6 is actually less than 5/6. So let's look at another one. Let's do A together, and then you're gonna try B and C on your whiteboards by yourself. So now we have 1/2 and 4/10. The first step that we need to do is to find a common denominator. So 2 times what is going to give me 10? Well, 2 times 5 gives me 10. Remember, the property or the rule is that whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top, or vice versa. So if I've multiplied the bottom by 5, I have to multiply the top by 5. So 1 times 5 equals 5. So now I have 5/10. I'm just going to make this sign bigger. So I have 5/10 or 4/10. Which one's greater? Well, 5/10 is greater. So 1/2 would be greater than 4/10. Now I want you to try B and C on your whiteboards by finding a common denominator. And then there's a bonus. Give that one a try. And then you're going to resume your screencast when you're done. So how can we compare these fractions now without drawing a picture? What makes this problem harder than the other ones? Well, there's no number that we can multiply 3 by to get to 5. So we can't make an equivalent fraction with a denominator 5. 5 is not a multiple of 3. So are we stuck? What if we try to change both denominators? We don't have to make the denominator of 1/3 equal to 5. We just have to make it a multiple of 5. Then we can change 2/5 too. So what is a quick way to get a multiple of 3 that is also a multiple of 5? Well, now we need to think back to multiples and factors. What two numbers can you multiply? Well, we can multiply 3 by 5. So we can multiply 3 by 5 to change 1/3, and we can multiply 5 by 3 to change 2/3. So here we're going to multiply this by 5, which is going to give us 15. What you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom, so we're going to multiply by 5. It's going to give us 5/15. Now on this side, I'm going to multiply, sorry, I don't want that equal sign. I'm going to multiply this side by 3 now. Okay, so what I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I'm going to get 5 by 3, which is 15. And I'm going to do 2 by 3, which is 6. Now, do I have the same denominator? Yes, both denominators are now 15. So now we can see that 5/15 is less than 6/15. So what we can say is 1/3 is then less than 2/5. So what do we need to multiply by so that each pair of fractions has the same denominator. So we have 1/2 and 1/5. You do not need to multiply by the lowest possible number to get a common denominator. Instead, you should just be encouraged to multiply each numerator and denominator by the denominator of the other fraction. So you're just going to flip these denominators around. So here you're going to multiply this side by 5, and you're going to multiply this side by 2. So you're flipping the denominators. So this is equal to, remember what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So it's equal to, I'm going to write it underneath so it's easier to compare. So we have 5 over 10. And then here we're multiplying by 2, so 10 and then 2. So now it's easy to compare that 5/10 is greater than 2/10. So for B, we're going to flip the denominators, multiply by 5, multiply by 3. We're going to get a denominator of 15. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So if I'm multiplying by 5 here, I need to multiply by 5 here. So 10 over 15. And then on this side, we're multiplying by 3. That should be a 5. So multiply this by 3, which means 9. So now I can say that 10/15 is greater than 9/15. Okay. So here's some exercises for you to do on your whiteboard using this strategy. Then you're going to write greater than or less than as appropriate in between the fractions once you have found a common denominator. Then you're going to resume your screencast. We can also compare improper fractions. So we need to still make the denominators the same. So these are improper fractions, but we can compare them the same way that we compared the others. So how can you make the denominators the same? Well, we can both multiply both the numerator and the denominator of 5 over 2 by 3, and multiply the numerator and the denominator of 8 over 3 by 2. So exactly what we were just doing. So this side we're going to multiply by 3, this side you're going to multiply by 2. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So this is going to give you 15 over 6, and it's going to give you 6 and 16. Sorry, that one was really bad. Now you can easily compare. Even though they're improper fractions, we can still compare. So we can see that 16 over 6 is greater than 15 over 6. How do we know this? Well, they both have the same denominator, but 16 is greater than 15. Here are some exercises for you to complete on your whiteboard. When you are done, you are going to resume your screencast. Now, we can also compare mixed numbers using equivalent fractions. So we're going to write on, we have 4 1/3 or 2 6/7. So what is the whole part of the first mixed number? Well, the whole is 4. What is the whole part of the second mixed number? It is 2. So if you want to show them on the number line, 4 1/3 would be on the right because it's greater than 4, so it would be about, it would be about here. I'm marking the other one. And then 2 6/7 would be just below 3, so it would be where this x is here. So a mixed number with a greater whole numbers part is greater. We don't even need to compare the fractions. We can see that this one is greater because it has a greater whole number. So these mixed numbers here have the same whole part. Sorry, let's look at this next one. They have the same whole, so 3 2/5 or 3 4/7. So we need to compare 2/5 and we need to compare 4/7 because the whole is always going to stay 3. So do 2/5 and 4/7 have the same denominator? No. So how can you make both denominators the same? Well, we know we can do this by multiplying both the numerator and the denominators of 2/5 by 7, multiplying the numerator and the denominator of 4/7 by 5. So we're just going to forget right now about this whole number. We're going to multiply by 7, we're going to multiply by 5. So what you're going to be left with is you're going to have 14 over 35, and then you're going to have 20 over 35. So what this tells us is 3 4/7 is greater than 3 2/5. So here's some exercises for you to do on your whiteboard, and then you're going to resume your screencast when you are finished.